Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. My name is James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about some free agents that I think Reading should be looking at for the summer of 2024. Now obviously Reading are still restricted in terms of their transfer business. We still can't make any signings for any money, and obviously loan fees are going to be either at a minimum or nothing. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the players that are out of contract going into this summer, and realistically who I think Reading should be going after. Now we'll start off with the priority number one, and that for me is the left wing position. Now for me, I think this player that I've got here is somebody that Reading should be snapping up instantly. And that player is Jack Nolan of Accrington Stanley. Now Nolan is a former Reading Academy product, and we saw how successful going back and looking at our academy is over the last transfer window. Sam Smith rejoined Reading on a 3-year deal and had 16 goals in his limited appearances in the League One season after being out with injury at the start of the season. Now, Jack Nolan, in his first full campaign at Accrington Stanley this year, has got 17 goals and 14 assists across all competitions, with them 17 goals all coming in the league and 9 assists coming in the league. Now, Nolan can play either on the left wing or on the right, and like I said, is a former Reading Academy player. Now, this was Nolan's first proper season. He hasn't had first team football for any club prior to this year, and the 22-year-old had an absolutely outstanding season. When you take a look at it, 31 goals and assists across all competitions is outstanding numbers. Now, according to Who Scored, you can see his strengths and weaknesses here. It's his crossing, taking set pieces, key passes, dribbling, and his finishing are his strengths, whereas his weaknesses is his defensive contribution. Now, the style of play Jack Nolan likes to play with is he likes to play long balls, he likes to cross, he likes to dribble, he likes to shoot from distance, plays the ball off the ground often, he likes to cut inside, and he does not dive into tackles. Now, to me, Jack Nolan sounds like a perfect replacement for if Femi Aziz were to leave. I think no matter what, if Aziz stays and Hibachiman stays anyway, I think Jack Nolan should be someone Reading should definitely be trying to pick up this off-season. As you can see with his playing positions, playing on the left or on the right, he's comfortable playing either side, and he has a high average rating for both sides as well. And listen, for me, Jack Nolan should be Reading's biggest priority this off-season. Now the next player we're going to go for is a different position. It's a centre-back, and that's actually Sam Sherring. He's 23 years old and currently plays for Northampton Town. 37 games this season for Sherring in a Northampton shirt, and he had an average rating of a 6.83 when playing at centre-back. Now, with Sherring, his strengths are his aerial duels and his concentration, whereas his weaknesses is his crossing. Now, with his weaknesses, not really too worried about his crossing if he's going to be playing centre-back for Reading. But when you look at his strengths, his aerial duels is something that is very key, and I think that's very important in replacing the Tom Holmes role. Now, Tom Holmes is someone that had to kind of play backup to Amadou Mbenge and Tyler Bindon over the closing weeks of the season, and I think with Sam Sherring, you're going to have somebody that will be able to come in and replace that Tom Holmes factor. Somebody that's dominant in the air, and somebody that's going to be able to win all of the aerial battles. Listen, Tyler Bindon and Mbenge are good in the air, but something Reading have been quite poor with this season is their defensive kind of contributions. Attacking wise, Reading have been brilliant, but defensively we were the third worst team in the league. And I think the defence is going to be massively key next season, especially if Reading are going to be wanting to push for a top 10, top 6 position. I think defensively Reading need to sort it out, and is Sam Sherring the man to do that? Potentially might be. Now the next player that we're going to go ahead and take a look at is a player that I think might be a little bit unrealistic if I'm being personal. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Reading are big enough of a club to be able to attract this type of player, but I think it's a little bit more of an unrealistic signing. I think his wages might be a little bit too much, and would he want to step down to League One level? But the player that we're talking about here is Aaron Connelly. Now he's 24 years old and currently plays for Hull City and only signed for Hull last season. But he actually only signed a 1-year deal at Hull, and that was because of the injury record that Connelly comes with. This season hasn't been too great in terms of his fitness as well, only playing a few games. When you take a look at it specifically, 16 games off the bench and only 13 starts for Aaron Connelly this year. He still managed to pick up 8 goals in the Championship, but he's absolutely quality when he plays. Now, Liam Rossigna is a massive fan of Aaron Connelly and has said that the reason that he wanted to re-sign him at Hull is because of his quality, and he's one of the better players in the group that they've got. Now, that's a massive real compliment to Connelly. Is look, he's a really good player, but unfortunately his fitness record behind him has struggled. Now, the last couple of years before this year, Reading had really struggled when it came to injuries and keeping players fit, but I feel like throughout this season, it's definitely not been something Reading have struggled with. Coming into this year, you'd look at the likes of Ben Elliott and, you'd say, Ben Elliott's someone that's really struggled in his entire career with injuries, but he hasn't picked up a major injury this season and has been completely fine throughout the whole year. Is this summit where Reading are able to do that for Aaron Connelly? Look, I hope so, because I think Connelly, either as the backup or the striker alongside Sam Smith, would be an absolutely fantastic bit of business. Now, when you take a look at Connelly's strengths, obviously this only goes through this season, but he's got his strengths come through as his long shots. He's actually got more weaknesses than anything. His aerial duels, holding onto the ball, passing, and his defensive contribution is where he supposedly struggles. But look, I think Aaron Connelly is someone that Reading should be looking at as, look, I think he would be a real quality addition, obviously if the wages are correct. Now, I'm going to add just one more player onto this video. Last year I only did 3 free agents that Reading should look at, but due to the Connelly one being a bit unrealistic, I'm just going to add one more in there, and that's actually going to be Matt Stevens from Forest Green. He's 26 years old, and this season hasn't had the greatest of records. Just 6 goals in 21 starts for Forest Green. Overall, it was 9 goals in 29 appearances. But the one thing I want to focus on with Matt Stevens is that in the 2021-22 season, when Forest Green actually won the league, he contributed with 23 goals. And I think Matt Stevens is someone that is going to bring something a little bit different. He's someone that likes to get fouled, and he plays a lot of short passes. He's good in that build-up play. And, when you take a look at his strengths and weaknesses on who scored, his headed attempts and his defensive contribution is where he is strong. Now, his weaknesses are his aerial duels, but his also headed attempts is where his strengths are, so kind of contradicting each other there. But I think Matt Stevens is someone who could really be a decent backup for Sam Smith. Now, obviously, we've got Jaden Wareham. His contract's up at the summer. Is he going to be someone that sticks around? I personally hope so, but Matt Stevens could be someone that really is a good backup for Sam Smith, in my opinion, as, Smith played the majority of the minutes this season when he was fit. It was full 90s a lot of the time for Sam Smith, and that's going to impact a player. Obviously, we saw the end of the season, Smith have a fantastic run of form, 4 goals in his last 4 games. But look, if you're playing 90 minutes week in, week out, Tuesday, Saturday, it's going to impact you quite a bit. And I think Matt Stevens is somebody that would be able to come in and do a job as a backup for Reading if he was to join. Now, that's going to be it for this video today, guys. Please, in the comment section below, if you've got any suggestions of free agents that you think Reading should take a look at, please be more than happy to read your suggestions down below. That's going to be it for this one today, though, guys. Thank you very much for watching. My name's been James, and we'll see you all in another video very soon. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.